This time on Greg's Garage, we roll to Dunlop's proving grounds in Birmingham, Alabama to try the all-new Sportmax Q3 with a bit of a twist. Give you an inside look into where it all happens at Troy Lee Designs, test Suzuki's mid-size cruiser, the M90, get you up to date on the latest news, take you on a journey around the web for some cool videos and more. It all happens right now. Hello everyone and welcome to the coolest, hippest, and most talked about power sports lifestyle show around. I'm Greg White, the host of this little thing we have going on, Greg's Garage. And on this program, we bring you stories, news, events, and people from around the world of power sports. You know power sports, motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, watercraft, snowmobiles, and we're always around on gregsgaragetv.com. We have a YouTube page, youtube.com/gregsgaragetv. You can keep up with my day-to-day by following me on Twitter at Greg White. We have Facebook and Twitter, etc. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, because we travel around and bring you stories, and you get the inside scoop before it airs. Like a few weeks ago, when I took a trip to Birmingham, Alabama to visit Dunlop Tire's motorcycle-only tire proving grounds to ride the all-new Sportmax Q3. Looking at the front of Dunlop's Birmingham, Alabama proving grounds may say, ho-hum, this might be a little boring. But once you're behind the gate, it's a whole nother story. Dunlop does extensive testing in this motorcycle-only facility, from supercross tires, motocross tires, to street and road, and they have all the toys you want to play with. Although this was exciting and we wanted to get out and play, we were here for a reason, the launch of the new Sportmax Q3 sport bike tire, a tire that's designed to do it all for sport bikes. Do you want to ride your motorcycle to the track and then ride it on the track? The Q3 is the answer. Now before we get into impressions, how about some info on the all-new Dunlop Sport Max Q3 with carbon fiber technology? Yup, I said carbon fiber in a tire. Oh, that's a rhyme. Anyway, senior tester Danny Roberts explains further.
What we have in Q3 is carbon fiber, which sounds maybe a little surfacey on the surface, but it makes a difference. We've got a great new profile, new pattern, carbon fiber technology, and the tires are just that much better.
Where is the carbon fiber?
It's in the sidewall, right in the area where the sidewall meets the tread gauge.
And what's the benefit of having carbon fiber in the sidewall?
Well, these tires actually have a bigger contact patch when you're at max lean. So when you have a bigger contact patch, the tire wants to squirm a little bit more. It works a little bit harder, gets a little hotter. Carbon fiber keeps it a little stiffer, but it's lightweight. You're not adding an entire belt or more cord material, that sort of thing in it. So it skins the cat a different way.
Carbon fiber technology is something that came as a benefit of our parent company. We're part of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company globally, and Goodyear introduced that technology into some of their passenger tires. And so it's a good synergy with a big company like that to be able to capitalize on that kind of knowledge. And again, trying to up the game from the Q2, if you will, was a tall order. Carbon fiber just helped us get that last little hurdle covered and bring the performance that we needed in this product.
For the journalists at the test, it was simple. Take the Q3 out on the 1.3 mile test track, one rider at a time because the course runs back on itself. Go ride Suzuki's GSX-R 600 and Kawasaki's new Ninja ZX-6R 636 model. We got half a day on the Q3 only, but after lunch, Dunlop let us go out on the Q2 followed by Q3 just to see how good the new tire is. When that was all done and dusted, we wanted to find out what the nation's best journos had to say.
The Proving Grounds track itself is quite unique. It's nothing like I've ever seen before. I've seen a lot of racetracks around the world. It's kind of loops back on itself, but fun layout. Second gear turns most of the place on like 1,000, even on a 600 too. So it's definitely a bit slow, but Q3 was more than up to the task coming around here, and we were able to burn some pretty good lap times and had fun.
Very impressed. I mean, the Q2, its predecessor, actually won our Sport Tire Shootout last year. So we were thinking, it'd be a pretty tough call to make a tire that's actually better than the Q2. But Dunlop has actually done that. It's pretty amazing. It's really, really a great tire.
My first stint on the Q2s, I'm thinking this was right after lunch, and I'm thinking, oh, it feels kind of like the Q3 felt on the Kawasaki 636 prior to lunch. But once I got a chance to ride on the Q3 on that same GSXR 600, it was pretty evident that, to me, what I felt was improvement in stability. Accelerating onto the front straight, you get a little bit of head shake with the bike, and it settled right in. And then the braking zone at the far end, you're going from fifth gear down to second, hard straight line braking. The Q2, there's a little bit of movement. Back end would wag a bit. The new tire seemed more composed. And then the turn-in point through this tight flip-flop chicane at the end of that straightaway, certainly there was a bit more lightness in the steering and a little more neutrality as you dropped it to full tilt on your knee into the left and back to the right.
In the areas of like braking, it's just better stability. And that's not to say, obviously, that the Q2 is, any, bad tire or anything like that. I mean, it was a great tire, but this tire is just that much better on stability, especially on the brakes. Turn in and everything is easier. It just turns better. It has better side grip, edge grip. It just gets you around the track faster, or down your own twisty road faster. It's just a better tire overall. It just gives you so much more confidence that it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I tested the Q3, the Q2, the predecessor, and a competitor brand also. I tied all three back to back to back. And, I could write a novel with the differences I found, but, confidence is a big thing when it comes to riding a motorcycle, and tires are the only thing hitting the ground, and it's what enables that confidence. And having a good set of rubber underneath you means the world. And, I felt like I could do no wrong on the Q3s.
I was lucky enough to get a go on the Kawasaki ZX-10R with full data acquisition and lap timer. From the Q2 to the Q3, in 2 laps, I was 2.4 seconds quicker. With the Q2, I would get it in there, and I couldn't exactly get it where I wanted on the apex, but every time I was driving out. I had no choice, just kind of drive out. But this thing gave me the option with the Q3s to be able to turn it in, and then I could go, all right, I want a little bit tighter and go right to the cone and stand the bike up. Or if I was carrying enough speed, I could just let it drift out. It gave you so many more options, This 190 55 is huge improvement over the Q2. Huge. Unreal.
Yeah.
The consensus, well, the top magazines in the nation agree, the Dunlop Sport Max Q3 is a winner. With increased performance and value, multi-tread technology built in, as well as new carbon fiber technology, this tire is the new talk of the sport bike community. Most sizes are available June 2013, with some others coming out in August and September. So get down to your motorcycle dealership and order yourself up the best traction for the street and the track. It's now time for the news, that part of the show where we do all the research on the latest happenings from around the power sports industry, so you don't have to. The first bit is good news for those folks that like to recreate on the Imperial Sand Dunes in California, or what most people know as Glamis. That land was closed under a court order because of the California Desert Conservation Act. But the Federal Bureau of Land Management has a Recreation Area Management Plan and Amendments thing going on. The American Motorcyclist Association report indicates a 90-day clock is ticking. Things could get ugly, but we hope that the 40-mile long and 5-mile wide land opens up. Former AMA Pro and World Superbike star Ben Bostrom has moved on to the next phase of his life. He's promoting an event in Colorado called the Rock and Road Challenge. For those motorcycle folks who pedal bicycles, and there are a lot of you, check out the website at rockandroadchallenge.com. One day is a massive mountain bike ride on the Copper Mountain Resort Trail System. Day 2, a road ride, Gran Fondo style, with 9,600 feet of climbing, ending at 11,000 foot summit. I'm going to try and make it for Sunday ride for sure. The date, September 6th through the 8th. And just in case you didn't know, AMA Pro Racing has moved to CBS Sports for the 13-14 season, but you can also catch the coverage of the races on AMA Pro Racing's YouTube channel, AMA Pro Vids. Available? Full races, inside stuff from Chrissy Lee, but also great stuff from the U.S. Grand National Flat Track Series, so check out the link on the show page. We wrap things up with Kawasaki's announcement of some new 2014 products, including a more powerful and highly updated KX100, one of my favorites. Also the unveiling of the 2014 TRX4. The power has been increased by upping displacement of the motor. It's gone from 749 cc's to 783, and let me tell you something, those TRXs are fun! I mean fun. How do I know? Well, recently I had a chance to head over to West Virginia's famed Hatfield McCoy trail system to ride some Kawasaki ATVs and side-by-sides, the 2013 TRX4 being one of them. And on the next show, we'll have the full story of the Hatfield McCoy trail system.
Yeah, so the trail system originally started as an idea back in '91 with a couple guys. One was a legislator in Charleston here in West Virginia, and one was a lawyer with the motorcycle industry. And they just had an idea of building this project in southern West Virginia that could, one, provide recreation for ATV, dirt bike, and side-by-side riders. Actually, at the time, they even thought it up as being for 4x4 riders. Full-size trucks, and then it took 9 years to actually get the project off the ground. We opened our trail system in October of 2000, and here we are in 2013 running strong and getting ready to open our 8th trail system.
But for now, on the last show we brought you an interview with motorsports icon Troy Lee. We promised you more with a behind-the-scenes look, so here you go.
Hey, welcome to our paint shop. Let's go have a look. All right, we're here inside the Troy Lee Designs paint shop. We'll take a look around, show you some cool helmets and what we do. We'll stop over here at Jay. Jay is our master pinstriper and gold leafer. He's got mad talent. Actually, right now he's doing a little hand lettering, or numbers it looks like. Here we have quite a few helmets lined up waiting for his expertise, which is pinstriping and gold leafing and lettering. Does a lot of names, numbers on your helmets, so retail customers as well as professional athletes, they all go see Jay. And then we have a few other guys over here. Some more names being done. Sometimes we add some logos to the helmets. That's actually Malcolm Stewart's helmet, getting ready for this weekend's race at Budds Creek, Maryland. So, and here we have Tristan. He's one of our cartoonists. He does a lot of animation paint, as well as flags. Really good at 3D art. This is all hand done and painted, which is pretty impressive because it looks like a sticker, but it's not. It's all hand painted in there. And this is, I believe, a retail customer. That's pretty neat. Then we have a lot of you guys are gonna be stoked on this one. A little James Stewart. This helmet being ready, getting ready for, I'm not sure what race he'll debut this one. But this one's cool. This one actually started off at Jay and got the silver leaf. So this is real silver leaf in here. And then Jason, this is Sam Willoughby, one of our world champ BMX riders. He's getting his helmet prepped and ready. It looks like it's going to its final coat. Doing a last minute sand down and then get a final clear coat tonight. And then off it goes to Sam. Cool. And we go into the back. This is where helmets first come in. So it might look like a little disorganization, but it actually is very organized. Excuse me. These are where all the helmets get prepped before they go to paint. So here they'll get sanded, taped, labeled, so we have all their names, numbers, we know exactly whose helmet it is and what it's for and when it's due by. So we get these helmets prepped and ready. We have quite a few auto guys up here as well. We have Oriel Servia, Danica Patrick, Dario Franchitti, Casey Kane, We did some Hot Wheels projects. Scott Pruitt's up there. J.R. Hildebrandt. Quite a few others, so the list goes on. We do a lot of NASCAR. We also did several Notre Dame helmets this year. We did the full team, so we did 160 helmets twice, which is quite a bit of helmets, but we were able to knock them out and let the guys go play football in them, which was pretty cool to see. A little TLD on the football field. Then we come on back here. We do all our in-house heat transfers, heat press. We have here, and we have a printer, our trusty heat presser here, as well as Shoko does all the artwork. She'll lay out all the artwork back on the computer. It gets printed and pressed. And by the way, the retail customer can call in, buy our jerseys, have their logos put on. We can do it all here in-house and have it shipped out to you right away. So pretty cool. It's even better for our race team. We can make last-minute changes if we have to. Back here, we have Michael David. He's our mad scientist. He can make pretty much anything. Doesn't look like much, but I'm telling you, he's extremely talented. A lot of helmet design development goes back here. Any special projects, he's the man. You know we have the SE3 in the air helmets. If it's gonna be SE4, maybe. We have some new helmets coming out in the near future. That's the man in charge of it, as well as a few other people, but he's got a big part in it. And then we have here a Cedro. Last but not least, one of our top dogs. Been here for over 25 years. He's the man. He's the guy that's gonna take this drawing here and turn it into reality and put it on a helmet. So he sketched that out, customer approves it, and then it goes on to paint. And this is kind of a little sneak peek on how he does it through hours of painstaking taping and making sure the lines are exactly straight and even. And then you end up with a super sick helmet. Here at Troy Lee, all of our artists actually hand paint. We do fudge it every once in a while with a sticker here and there, but for the most part, especially if a retail customer, it's a hand painted helmet every time, which is pretty cool. And if you're lucky, you might even get Troy to throw his hand in there and sign the helmet, which is pretty cool. We try and do that for all of our customers. They get a little hand signature of Troy, unless they want to step it up and get involved and have Troy really paint him a helmet, which is pretty cool, because he's still got some mad skills. And then Atoshi's not here. He's another cartoonist. We do quite a bit. One of our race team sponsors is Fender Guitars. We've painted a few guitars for them, and this is kind of a mock-up of one of the guitars. And then we cycle back to Jay. And that there's the tour of the paint shop here at Troy Lee Designs. Thank you for coming.
I'm gonna tell you something. There's nothing like a custom painted helmet to make you feel oh so special. And speaking of feeling special, it's that special time on Greg's Garage where we bring you Worldwide Video. A snapshot of some cool power sports videos that are firing around the World Wide Web. Now we get you fired up with this one, how to get a fire going with a motorcycle.
Widać Harusa? No, okej, dobra. Dawaj! Jak się rozgrzeje? Sposób na rozpalenie ogniska! Sposób na rozpalenie ogniska! Będzie pchać! To można wrzucić.
Now, we don't recommend you doing that at home. Don't attempt that. Be safe. Keep your motorcycle away from fire. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, got it? And now get this. For your crossover folks, we bring you Bike on Bike.
Wait. I know, all you motor guys are going, oh no, another bicycle vlog. But Now, all you bicycle guys are going, oh no, another moto vlog. But no, it's both. It's 2 in 1. I have figured out how to mount my bicycles on my motorcycle. Alright, there it is, good to go. Let's have a closer look. Now, I know, it's okay, some of you didn't believe me. You didn't believe you were going to really see this, but here it is. So let's do a little walk around, half a walk around, and I'll zoom in on how this whole installation works. Now, I'm starting right off with an odd case here. I've got, this fork is a lefty. It's a one-sided, one-legged fork. So it can't mount to the fork mount by itself. It needs this yellow adapter. The other thing I have holding the bicycle to the motorcycle are a pair of rock straps. I've got one in the front and one in the back. And they go between the bicycle and the rear rack on my motorcycle. Not, if you ever do this, do not strap to the cage.
Motor Trend magazine has a video series called On Two Wheels, and in this highlight, it's all about an amazing event called Born Free Vintage Motorcycle Fest.
My name is Grant Peterson. I'm 32 years old. I live in Long Beach, California. For my day job, I am the tech center manager at Source Interlink Media out in El Segundo, California, where I build and work on project cars for Hot Rod and Carcraft and a few other magazines.
I think I have to pee.
As a hobby, I do vintage motorcycles. I do everything from build them, buy and sell parts, go to swap meets, ride them. And then about 5 years ago, my friend Mike Davis and I decided to throw a little vintage motorcycle show, and it's kind of taken on a whole life of its own. Born Free started just kind of as a conversation between myself and Mike Davis. We wanted to throw just a fun little motorcycle show the way we wanted, and it worked, it clicked, and word spread with Born Free, with the photos on the internet and some magazines.
You can see more on the Motor Trend YouTube channel. The link is on the website, just go to the show page. Now, the movie The World's Fastest Indian, starring Anthony Hopkins, was about one man's desire to set land speed records at the Bonneville Salt Flats back in 1967. Well, as Indian put it, the Spirit of Monroe, an all-metal tribute bike, which would house the new Thunderstroke 111 engine, was run on May 5th, 2013 on a dry lake bed in California. A tribute to the great Burt Monroe and a celebration of the Indian motorcycle that is yet to come. You know, watching other people ride always gets me in the mood to ride something. It's time to get my Boulevard cruiser on. Gonna ride the Suzuki M90. Go! A closer look at the 2013 Suzuki Boulevard M90 Cruiser shows 89.2 cubic inch 4-stroke 2-cylinder liquid-cooled overhead cam power plant that has fuel injection. It has a 5-speed transmission, has shaft drive, you know, for low maintenance and proper power delivery, has inverted telescopic forks, 2-piston caliper brakes up front, single in the back. It runs on a 250/17 on the rear. That's matched by the 120 on the front. Now the overall length is 94.1 inches and the seat height is 28.2 inches off the ground. The total weight of this motorcycle comes in at 723 pounds. Well, there's the Suzuki Boulevard M90 Cruiser, a well-balanced motorcycle with looks to match. Now if you're looking at this thing and you're thinking to yourself, kind of looks like the M109R. That's because that's where the styling cues came from. But the V-twin motor is a bit smaller, 1462 cc's of fuel-injected, liquid-cooled power, and it has plenty, I can tell you that. Especially when you twist that right wrist, the throttle response is excellent. And how about the handling? Upside-down forks in the front, you have great brakes, and the rear, you have a nice disc brake in the back, and it gives you good pedal feel. I find that on the Cruiser, I like to use more rear brake than I do on, say, a sport bike. It just helps to balance everything out, and it helps to compensate for the amount of back tilt you get when you're rolling off the throttle. Fun motorcycle, turned a lot of heads, a lot of chrome on this thing. The seating position is great, okay? So the seat position is fine, but what I found for me, being a taller guy, is that the tank itself is a bit wide. And so initially when I got on it, it was a weird feeling for me. And it took me about maybe 5 or 6 miles, and I was able to really get a good feel for it. Someone who doesn't have as long of an inseam as I do, they might find that their legs are gonna wrap more around the tank and it'll be a little bit more comfortable. To sum up the Suzuki Boulevard M90 Cruiser, a well-balanced package. The V-twin 1462 cc engine has a lot of torque, good horsepower. The fuel injection gives you great throttle response. The handling is spot on. I could place this motorcycle anywhere I wanted to on the road. The upside down forks, very responsive, including the rear suspension. The brakes were great. The seat, overall, for a long ride, very comfortable, and there's room for a passenger. So, with styling cues from the M109R, the M90 sure is a good looking motorcycle. So get down to your Suzuki dealership and check it out, because this motorcycle might just be the next one you want in your garage. In the M90 video, you heard the term shaft drive, and since it's time for motorcycle slang, we'll take a closer look. In this segment, we break down words or phrases used in the world of power sports to help those that are new or have no clue talk the talk. So here we go. We'll focus on chain drive, belt drive, and shaft drive. Chain drive. Now that's your most common form of getting power from the engine to the rear wheel. You have a chain, which is wrapped around usually 2 sprockets, one on the countershaft directly connected to the engine, and the rear wheel sprocket. The countershaft transfers the power via the chain, an efficient and strong solution, but it has some maintenance involved. The chain drive can also handle big power that comes on quickly. Then we have belt drive. In the early days of motorcycling, the belt drive was popular. With low horsepower numbers, it was easy to form these toothed rubber belts and handle the power. But it wasn't until DuPont invented Kevlar and they were put into the rubber that it made its way to popular motorcycles like Harley-Davidson's. So the belts these days are rubber and Kevlar with synchronized teeth to achieve the same result as a chain with less maintenance. They're still not as strong and adjustable as chain drives. And then we have shaft drive. This is more like a car. There's a shaft, a big piece of metal, that delivers the power from the engine. Now the advantage to shaft drive comes in the form of maintenance. They require less than chain or belt. They can also handle a lot of power. The downside, unsprung weight and power loss due to friction. But since they're all in use today, they're all great solutions and all have a purpose. Well, I hope that helped out a little bit. If you have any questions, anything you'd like to see on the show, whatever, you know how to get a hold of us. show@gregsgaragetv.com. That's how you do that. Don't forget to like me on Twitter @GregWhite. We have the Facebook page, facebook.com/GregsGarageTV, Instagram, Greg's Garage. And of course, you can check out all the shows on the website, gregsgaragetv.com. That is our YouTube channel. Well, that's it for this show. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Gotta go.